I want to make sure you don't make these 7 mistakes when you're looking at buying a home. So for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to tell you the top 7 mistakes that I see most often in this business from a home buyer. And I want to make sure that you know these so that when you're going through the process, you recognize that maybe you're making one of those mistakes and we can make an adjustment. My name is Tim Scheib. I sell real estate in Des Moines, Iowa. Have been doing that for the last 2 decades, selling anywhere from 50 to 100 homes per year. I love my job, and if you're interested in looking to buy a home, I would be happy to help you as well. All right, here we go. The top 7 mistakes, starting with number 1, starting the process before getting pre-approved. I know it can be annoying that you have to call a lender and get pre-approved to buy a home, but it is essential that you have that pre-approval before you start looking. And there's a few reasons why. The number one reason why I say you need a pre-approval beforehand is because the last thing we want to do is go look at a home, have you fall in love with that home, want to buy that home, go to the bank, and now you're not approved for the amount that that home is worth. And it's a big disappointment. You see, when you're buying a home, you want to have a great experience. You want it to be fun. You want it to be joyful. But if you go out and you find that house that you love and you can't get it, it really ruins that experience. So I want to make sure we're always looking for a home that's within your budget. In addition to that, when you do find that right home, you could miss out on the opportunity to buy that home because sometimes homes that you fall in love with, other people fall in love with too. And by the time you get to the lender, by the time you get your pre-approval, someone else could come in underneath you and get that home under contract, no longer giving you that opportunity to buy the house you love. When you find the house you like, you want to be able to act quick, and you can only act quick if you already have that pre-approval. Number 2 is buying based on incentives. Let's say you're looking at homes and a builder offers all these incentives. Buying the home based on incentives is a bad idea. Incentives are great bonuses, but at the end of the day, builders make money, you're paying for it. At some point, if you're getting incentives, it's likely you're paying the tab. It's either added into the price of the home, or it's just a way to get you to buy that house, even though you're actually paying for all those incentives yourself. Another incentive that I see a lot of people take advantage of are tax abatements. Sure, it sounds wonderful. You get 5-year tax abatement, it's graduated, or even a full 5-year tax abatement. That sounds absolutely wonderful, but there's a reason why those cities are giving abatements. It's because they want to attract people to an area that is not able to attract them otherwise. So you might end up not liking that location. Plus, it can be a real hit in the face if you're not fully ready for those taxes to kick in. So there's so many things to consider. Incentives sound great. These benefits are amazing, but there's always a catch, and you want to make sure you fully understand that catch before you buy the house. So don't buy that house based on those incentives. Buy the house because of the location and you like it, which will be another one down the line here. We'll get to that. But let's talk about number 3, buying a home for the house over the location. Yeah, I just mentioned that in number 2, but I can't tell you how important this is. Too often, someone will send me a house that's not in the area that they were looking because it's, a little bit bigger. It's got the bedrooms. It's got the fenced in yard. It's got the 3-car garage. It's got the finished basement for 20 grand or 30 grand less that fits in their budget than the place where they actually want to live. I highly recommend that you reconsider based on location. The worst thing you can do when you're buying a home is sell it a year or 2 later. I tell my clients, the longer you stay in the home, the more money you make, the quicker you move, the more money I make, and I want you to make more money. So we want to get you in the right location. We've heard this for years, location, location, location. I'm telling you, you will be happier with a smaller house in a better location than you will be with a bigger house in a location that you hate. And that is a big issue I see. There's a reason why, just like I said earlier, there's a reason why they give tax abatements in certain areas because people don't really want to be there. So they got to try and incentivize people to move there. Well, there's a reason why that house is bigger, got all the stuff you want for less money because people don't want to be in that location. So you want to make sure that you're buying more so for location rather than the shiny object, which is the house. Trust me on that one. It is extremely important. And number 4, I often see buyers negotiating themselves out of the deal, not negotiating properly. Sometimes you can really offend a seller. And if you love the house and we know the value's there, It may not be worth offending the seller and making it a bad situation. On top of that, as a real estate agent, I can't tell you how many times buyers negotiate against me when I'm supposed to be negotiating for them. Like, I would never spend more than that. And then they spend more than that. And it's like, well, if you would have been honest with me up front and told me what you're willing to spend, maybe we could have got closer to that target amount that you're looking for. You have to place your trust in the agent you're working with. And if you don't feel comfortable placing your trust in the agent that's working for you, you might need to find a different agent, because you really should trust their opinion, trust their advice. And we have an agreement where we can't share information. It's private. It's, the stuff we talk about is what we talk about. And how we negotiate as professionals, we use the information that you give us to go to them and create a scenario where you're going to get what you want. And that's our job, is to negotiate for you. So what we don't want you doing is negotiating against yourself, against us, so that we can do our job and negotiate for you in the transaction. So make sure you're not negotiating yourself right out of that deal. And number 5 is buying at your max. If you go to a lender and that lender says you're pre-approved for $450,000 and you go buy a home for $449,000, you know what? There's always expenses after the fact. When you buy a home, it just costs money to own a home. That's just a fact. It does. You got to pre-plan for that. So when you buy a home based on your max budget, you could really run into problems, because now you're maxed out on your monthly payment. And when other expenses pop up, like all of a sudden a furnace or a roof or something like that happens, or like, let's just say insurance goes way up like it is today, you could be in a bind, and we don't want to put you in a bind. I always tell people, go ahead and get pre-approved. You're not getting pre-approved for your max dollar amount. Get pre-approved for the budget. Get pre-approved for the payment that you're comfortable with. Let's not go out there and get pre-approved for your max dollar amount, because that could just be a dangerous scenario. And I myself don't want to get you in that position, and I don't want you to put yourself in that position. And number 6 is making emotional decisions. While we want you to be happy, we want you to feel the home. This is my house. I want this house. We want that for sure. But the chips don't always fall where you want them to fall. So sometimes you can make an offer on a home, and then all of a sudden you find out something bad in the disclosure or during the home inspection, and the deal falls apart. We don't want it to be the end of your world when it comes to buying a home. We want you to like the home, love the home. We want you to really be excited about the home. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure we weigh the pros and cons and make sure we understand the complete market. I can't tell you how many times I've had a deal fall apart, or we go in to put an offer on a house and it becomes multiple offers, and my clients lose it because they didn't want to spend as much as the next people. But then 2 weeks later, we find a perfect house for them. The old adage of, if it's meant to be, it will be. I don't like to go by that fully, but it does work. It does happen. Like, if they don't get the house, guess what? Something better is going to come along, and we're going to be doing just fine. Just give it time. Let's be patient, and don't get so emotionally charged by a property. That can also affect your negotiating. If we get too emotional inside of negotiating, at the time of the buy or the time of the sell, it is absolutely a business decision. We want to love the house. We want to be excited about the house, but let's not get too emotional over the property. And number 7 is buying a home based on future markets. We can never tell the future. One thing I can say for certain, because history shows it, over time, properties always go up in value. But if we're looking at, hey, we're buying this home because we know next year it's going to be better, or 2 years it's going to be better, or hey, we're buying a home today because we know that we're going to make more money in 2 or 3 years. Back in the early 2000s, one of the biggest downfalls to people doing the 2-3-1 buy downs and the ARM loans is, hey, I'm going to buy this house because I can afford it now, and in 4 years from now, I'm going to be making more money. And when the big higher rate kicks in and our payment goes up, we'll be making more money and we'll be just fine. And then people didn't make more money, and the houses went back to the. So we don't want to buy a house based on our future market. We want to buy it based on what we're able to accomplish today, with a little bit of padding in case something doesn't happen the way we want it, or if the market does drop a little bit and we need to move. We want to make sure we're buying the house based on our ability today, and our ability to hold strong for future. Not necessarily we're going to make more money or values are going to go way up, because we just don't know for sure. I'll have clients tell me all the time, we're buying our forever home. And I always stop them right away. I say, don't say that. We never know what our forever home is going to be. We can buy a home that we want to be able to potentially live in for a long, long time. But odds are when someone says they're buying their forever home, I get a call a year or two later where they're wanting to sell their home for whatever reason, relocation, heaven forbid, divorce, or they just want to downsize, or you know what, we just want to move on to a different town. Whatever the case may be, let's not buy the house based on future markets. We want to make sure that when we buy the house, we're able to buy it today. We got an equity position, and we know that we're going to be okay for years to come. If you need to move in 2-3 years, that's fine, but we're prepared for it today. So a quick recap. Number one, we don't want to start buying a home without a pre-approval. Number two, we don't want to buy a home based on the incentives that are given. And number three, we don't want to buy for the house rather than the location. We want to buy for the location first. Number four, we don't want to negotiate ourselves out of a deal. And number five, we don't want to buy at our max budget right off the chute. And number six, we don't want to make an emotional purchase. And number seven, we don't want to buy based on a better market or a future market. And those are the 7 things I want to make sure you avoid when you're looking to buy a home. Again, my name is Tim Scheib. I've been selling real estate in the Des Moines metro, that's in Iowa, central Iowa, for 2 decades. I would love to assist you if you ever have a need to buy or sell a home in this area. And if you're outside the area, I'd be happy to help you find an agent that will take great care of you. Reach out anytime. My number's widely available online. If you like this content and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.